Hi all, my name is Mark, and in this video I'm going to go through 5 points that might help you get better when shooting with vintage lenses. With so many lenses available on the market to adapt, it's kind of hard to know where to start. It's why most people start with the familiar brands like Canon FD or Nikon Nikkors. The fact of the matter is there are so many other brands to choose from, I'm not even close to knowing what they all are. Now, I had no idea Takumars even existed when I went to my first vintage lens fair over 3 years ago. I'm really glad I went to that, but I kind of miss those vintage lens fairs. Are you having fun? You are having fun? How come?
This one's for the
This
nice
has some cool stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Let's do a walkthrough, come on. Now, if you're interested in pursuing a lens purchase, then before you spend a cent on anything, do the research. There's a whole wealth of knowledge at your fingertips these days, so use it. This will help you set your expectation and position you in the best possible place to make an as informed decision as you can. Now, part of the reason why I've spent so much time on these vintage lens reviews is to help give you a sense of how these lenses perform and my experience using them. This is all done in the hopes that it will inform you and help you decide if these lenses are for you or not. Number 2, familiarization. Now, I've been using vintage lenses for a while now, so I have a pretty decent idea of what to expect when it comes to a lens. Now, even still, and especially if you're new to this, if you've just received a new old lens, take the time to familiarize yourself with it. Where the aperture is, does it do half stop or full stop clicks, which direction the focus throw goes, and the weight of the focus throw, the depth of field markings, and the close focusing distance. Now, because these old SLR lenses are so hands-on, getting familiar with the mechanics of the lens will help with the overall shooting experience. Number 3, testing. Now, testing a lens to see how it performs can be both fun and informative. Fun because the first thing I want to do when I get a lens is to take photos with it while it still has that fresh, unboxed smell. And informative because through a pattern of testing, you can really start to see where this lens excels and fails. This way you can really maximize the strengths and minimize the weaknesses, which ultimately will lend itself to better photographs. For example, if a lens has strong chromatic aberrations, then perhaps avoid shooting in really high contrast conditions. If the lens lacks contrast and sharpness wide open, stop down to where the lens starts to perform optimally. Or hell, if you want that dreamy, soft, low contrast look, shoot something wide open. Now, things like flares, focus breathing, and vignetting are all image characteristics you can lean into or avoid, depending on what's motivating the shot. And knowing where these limitations lie will help shape your photography. We've all heard it, right? Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Well, it's friggin' true. Practice makes perfect. Now, the biggest thing when it comes to really developing your skill with a particular vintage lens is practice and patience. New lens, new mechanics and optics. You're most likely not gonna get the best shots with the lens straight out the gate, so like anything, an investment in time will most likely reward you with great results down the line. Now, because these are all manual lenses, one of the biggest barriers to deal with when using them is manual focusing, which thankfully is a mechanical focus system over a focus by wire system you see in a modern lens. Now, the biggest difference between the two is that focus by wire actuates an electric motor that moves the glass elements of the lens, where the mechanical focus system moves the elements directly using gears. With a mechanical focus system, the focus throw is limited to a certain degree of rotation and hard stops at the min and max focus. Now, another nice thing is the focus weight of a lens. It's consistent and will always translate your physical movements to the system directly. Now, this makes it much easier to commit these actions to muscle memory, and over time, it makes it so much easier to track a subject with precision. Now, this improves the overall experience of the lens, and hey, give yourself credit when you do land an in-focus shot, because that's all you, baby. Go ahead, pat yourself on the back. I'll wait. I'll wait. Pat yourself on the back, just do it already. Now, I know these lenses were never meant to be used on a digital camera. Adapting these alone is just a hack. but oh so human of us. We like to explore and experiment, especially when it comes to making art, and I think some of the best art comes with limitations, variables that demand creative thought or problem solving that ultimately help push our boundaries. Now, of course, the price of these lenses can be found for doesn't hurt the accessibility factor, so pretty much anybody can jump in. Now, believe me, I never thought when I started this whole thing I'd be using these lenses for my video client work, but following these 5 steps over the past few years, and here we are. So go make art now, experiment, have fun. I think ultimately that's why I make these videos, to share that excitement and the possibilities these lenses can bring. And hey, I'd actually love to see your vintage lens shot, so tag me over on Instagram and I'll check them out. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. I needed a bit of an icebreaker for myself. A Belgian moon will do it. That'll do it.